Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome along to a first look map tour at a newly released map for Farming Simulator 22. This is the Deutschland FS22 map, brought to you by Edomod. Now, you might recognise the name. Edomod was responsible for Lands of Italy and Italia Emile extension, and both of those maps have also been released for FS22. And I would say Edomod has some of the best attention to detail that you would see in any Farming Simulator maps. Each and every one of them are beautiful in their own right, and the Deutschland one does not disappoint. Now, it is out already, like I said. It is only out for PC. There's a link in the description on where you can find that. But interestingly enough, on the website, there is a link to, say, a cross-platform version. Now, it does have a tag on it saying not yet confirmed, but do hold out a little bit of hope that potentially we could see this map on ModHub for consoles as well as for PC. So we're going to dive in and go and take a little bit of a look at it. It is a standard 2x map, and as has been the trend for Edomod's maps, it is designed to be extended in the future. We saw that on the Italia map as well. So we'll take a look at that. You can see that on the PDA. So let's dive on in. We'll take a look at the PDA, have a look at the map, see what the farms all look like, some of the field sizes, and then we're going to go and jump in a pickup and have a little bit of a drive around. So as you can see, there is the PDA. Now down the bottom, as I mentioned, there is an extension area. It says FS25. Well, that's all speculation because we know nothing about FS25, but that is another story and for another video. But today we're looking here at the main part of the map up the top here. So if I was saying this is a 2x2, 2 kilometre by 2 kilometre map, or a standard 1x map, we've probably got a 2 kilometre and 1.5 kilometres. So it's not obviously the full size, but let's take a look at some of the features. Firstly, look at this great farm over here, or vineyard, or winery, whatever you want to describe it. Huge selection of white and red grapes over there, and actually, probably for me, one of the best set out vineyards that I've seen, in that it's not on the side of a big steep slope and not lots of angled ends where it makes it very difficult to turn around the grape harvesters. So I'm actually interested to see how well that might work running some courseplay. There is 3 main farms on the map, and what Edomod does, which is really helpful, is gives you a description of the maps here, of the farm, here on the side. So Farm A, Maisenhof, has a silo, a sleep trigger, and a maintenance trigger, and is located here in the sort of centre of the map. And this is what's set up as the starter farm. You can see a few bits of equipment there. Farm B, Mundehonf, Premium Cattle Ranch. Now, obviously a cattle ranch, it does have cattle, but it also has a few other things. We've got a silo, a maintenance trigger, and we've got cows, sheep, chickens, and pigs. That's Farm B, a Mundenhof Premium Cattle Ranch. And the third farm, Farm C, is Lindenhof, and you can see there we have a silo, slick trigger, maintenance trigger, BGA, and more cows. Where are those two? Well, Farm B, Mundenhof, is just here on the map, and Farm C, Lindenhof, is up here on the top right hand corner. So we're going to take a look at each and every one of those. What else is there? We've got a few sell points scattered around. There's quite a few productions. There's a few other spots. There's a farm down here which has chickens on it, so we're going to take a look at that as well. We've got some sell points, animal buy point down there, bale sell point next to that, main shop, and workshop down here in the middle. So yeah, very nice looking map. Some very cool icons. You can see the forestry areas very clearly identified around each as well. Now, in terms of land prices and where we start off, let's take a look at that. So a couple of fields here, or farmland areas, field 20 or plot 20 and field number 10. So if we jump back out, you can see that that is the only field, and this bit of land here in 20 is actually the farmyard and the buildings. There is in total 73 plots of land. You can see the forestry ones across here. I think we get to 65 in the fields, and then we start going into 66, 68, 69, going through that for the forests, but 73 in total of varying sizes. The largest, big grass field here, 38, 15.8 acres and $319,700. Smallest, I think the smallest I've found is field 35, and this is actually a grass field. 0.6 of an acre and $12,000, and would not take very long to mow that as well. Otherwise, a good assortment of fields. 3.6 acres in there, 7 acres in that one. Grapes over here as well, 11 acres, all split up into different sizes for 3.17. So some really good variety of fields as we tack around and look at some of those. Now, looking at the farms, obviously they come at a premium. The cattle farm up here, which has the BGA next to it, which is actually purchased separately, $1.8 million for that piece of farmland there. Chicken farm comes with the field 46, $378,000, and farmyard B in the middle here, $1.7 million. So kind of not ones that you're going to be buying anytime soon without taking a whole lot of debt on. They are really, if you're going to play the game from a starter farm point of view and build up, you are going to have to earn quite some money to be able to expand into those. The fields you start off with, or the plots you start off with, 20 there, 185,000 and 81,000 for the one field. So some good assortments, good variety, but certainly not cheap if you want to start expanding into some of the other farms. So we're down here up at the chapel looking back across the map. So in the background you'll be able to see when we have a look back towards the farm, but we are going to head on over. We're going to go and start at the farm here. We'll go for a bit of a drive, check out some of these main farmyards, come back through the middle road, we'll go up and have a look at the chicken farm, then we'll check out some of these sell points, the workshop, and some of the sell points in here before having a look over here at the winery. But there's plenty to see, plenty to do, all fitted into quite a compact little map. So let's go and take a look. So as I was saying, we're up here at the church. We'll just take a little bit of a look around. We're not going to come back up here. One thing while we are here, I do just want to point out, and we'll come over and have a look at this. Just bring up our F1 help menu, and if we just get a little bit closer, you can see we do have collectibles. Now there's 16 of these scattered around. It's going to collect that $10,000 a pot. They are the 16 coats of arms of the German regions. Find them all. You found the coat of arms of the region Hessen. There are 15 more. So keep an eye out for those as you go around. $10,000 a pop, and well worth it as a way to actually build up a little bit of money. $160,000. Not sure if there's a reward at the end, but keep an eye out for them as you go around. Now let's bring the little mini map up. Keep that orientated at the square to the north so you can see exactly where we are as we go around. Like I said, we're going to head over into the middle there, pretty much below the wind turbines that you can see on the horizon. Start off in there at the starter farm, and we'll go for a drive. So we have made our way down here into the middle of the little village in the middle of the map, and we're right outside where our farmyard is. Right behind here is the starting farm if you start out on new farmer mode. Now, if you'd told me a year ago that you'd find a farmyard in the middle of a little village in Germany, I would have laughed at you, but after my trip there for FarmCon last year, I have actually come to understand what exactly it is like and how common it is for our farmyards just to be tucked into the middle of the little villages. So it's pretty cool to see, and certainly after having been there it makes a whole lot more sense. One thing Edomod has done is pretty much every building, in fact every building on the map, has been custom designed and custom built for the map. So they are all in keeping with the region, they are all 100% authentic German style buildings, and I think they just look amazing. Look at the attention to detail that has been put in here, the fretwork, the timber work up on the walls, even font and everything like that for the Rathaus name there on the sign on the building, the shutters, the mesh and that, the grills on the window, everything. There's been a lot of attention and detail put into that, and you'll see that as you come to some of the other buildings, because there are some pretty impressive buildings around the map. The other thing that Edomod is very well known for is these fantastic little indicators. Different to your normal cell triggers, info triggers you'll find on the map. These are so black and white, explicitly clear on what they are, that you're never ever going to get lost. So we've also got a cell area here for, I'm assuming, a sell point. Not sure what it is exactly. We can take a look at the map and figure that out, but as you go around you'll see these, and they are very useful, very helpful, particularly when you get into the productions, because you've obviously got inputs, outputs, management areas and things like that. But I'm just going to take a look through the gate here and have a look at the starting farmyard. Get those opened up. Again, nice little animations there on these. And we'll come through here and have a look. Now there's a couple of required mods that you do get when you download it, all from ModHub. Got the MB track there, and also the old Deutz as a couple of required mods, and there is a trailer pack. So just the three of them, all available from ModHub, and you'll be if you start on New Farmer, you'll be prompted to download those. Just having a quick look around. I've got a sleeping area here, so pop on over there and you can sleep. And then over in the back, again, these wonderful indicators. We've got a management point. Now this management point, because it is on the farm, gives you the option to change how you look. So there we go. We're wearing our coveralls with our nice little cheese cutter on top. So compact little yard, not a huge amount of space, but more than enough to get the equipment you probably need on the farm out of there. We've got the pottinger, baler there, you've got Tedder in behind. Then come around the outside here, you can see we've got a front loader for the Deutz, a bale grab, mower, windrower, and bale trailer there as well. So that's pretty much all you start off with. Not a huge amount of anything, but the only field you start off with as well is the one down here. Just go and have a look over the road here. So this is all the starting field. Field number 8 that you do start off with. So it's a decent size. Go and have a look down just a little bit further. Heads on up around there, so some fantastic looking terrain as you look around the map. Very nice. The detail on it just staggers me, and the time I spent on Lands of Italy was much the same. Now, this building you don't actually start off owning. This is one that you would need to buy the land and to buy the building, so you should be able to, or not able to, as the case may be, because we don't own it. We can't actually get in and own that. So as we go on our tour, I'm actually going to jump in and buy all the land, buy all the production points, so we can take a good look at each and every one of those. So we are now the rightful owners of this land. So we just get a little bit closer, see if we can get this door open, or it might be one we have to actually go inside to open. No, there we go. There is our trigger. And we head on in here. This one is a workshop. So again, another one of these wonderful indicators. Park your tractor or equipment in this area, and pop over here to your management point to be able to make any adjustments you want to your equipment. Pop on up the stairs here. Always love farm sim stairs. They're never easy to navigate. There we go. And we've got this big open area. Again, another workshop trigger, so you could actually bring your equipment up the top and park up in here if you wanted to. Removable boards, not that we can move them, but there is a pit for under that, so if you're working underneath your equipment, quite nice to see that little bit of detail. But yeah, nice big shed, plenty of storage space in here. Get this popped up and open, get on over the other side, and also have a silo here. So again, triggers, grain loading area. So we've got two overlapping here. It's loading and unloading. So I imagine one sort of centered on the spout there for filling up your trailer, and then one centered more here over the grill for dumping into. It says it's a 200,000 litre silo, so I'm going to assume that is what it is. Now, again, attention to detail, but look at that. We've even got the signs there with warnings, removing or operating the cover. You know, they're actually detailed enough, and they go all the way up there, so pretty cool to see. Another shed here. Just going to pop the door open on this just to have a look. I'm going to get carried away looking at this. Being an architect, I just do love that attention to detail with the stone detail around the arch there, the different stones and bricks used in the construction. Then even just coming in here, all the different finishes and textures that you see on the wall. It's not just a blank wall. But yeah, again, some good storage in there. Looks like some lights. Let's pop on over this way and see if we've got a light switch. There we go. Lights on and off. So, good to have. Right, so that is kind of the look here at the Farmyard A, the first farmyard you do start off with. And we're going to head back on down this way. We've got a loan truck from one of the local dealers. We've got a nice VW sitting there, ready to go for a drive around and take a look at this beautiful map. So, jump in, go for a drive. Just before we go any further, I did want to come down here and take a look at the train. We've got a grain silo there on the 1, 2, 3 grain trailers, flat deck and a logging trailer. So pretty much your standard train, but it does have that custom engine there on the front. So very similar to what we've seen on some of other Edomod's maps. But there is a train there, and I'm pretty sure you can rent it. I haven't actually had a look if there is a rental point, but I would assume if you had a train of that detail, there would be a rental point. But we'll have a look at the map, jump in here and suss that out. Alright, so back to where we are. We are right here outside this shed. This is the workshop shed we just bought, the silo we went and looked at. Now, a little bit of egg on my face. I can't actually see a rent point anywhere on the map for the train. So maybe you can't. Maybe it is just there as decoration for driving around. Maybe it's something that will be added in the future. But I can't actually see anywhere that might be a silo or anything for transferring product from the trains into a sell point. So may not be an option at all. Anyhow, we're going to head on out this way. I'm going to drive on up through here, go and take a look at Farm B. We'll come on up, have a look at Farm C. Now you can see there's a few farmhouses across the top here. and obviously a number of production points that are now visible, which we couldn't see before because we didn't own the fields, and now we can see them. So we'll go for a drive, go and suss all that out and see what there is around. Some great detail in the textures here on the road. These sort of cobblestone tracks, paths, roads, whatever you want to call them, very well detailed, and I just love the way the textures change. It's one thing I actually want to point out. When you get out on one of the sealed roads, it's pretty impressive to see what's been done on those as well. Now, let's just have a look here, so you can see the sign. That is the Mundenhof Premium Dairy Farm, or Premium Cattle Farm. So we'll go and have a look at all the different parts here. There is a lot to take in, so I don't want to take too long with the video, but I do want to make sure we do cover everything off. We'll pop up in here, a good place to park, and go and have a look around. So there you go, you can see Farmyard B, the Mundenhof Premium Cattle Ranch. Have a look around what we've got. We've got a workshop here on the left, 500,000 litre silo down the bottom. We've got the 4 animals. We've got a sheep pasture down at the bottom there. We've got a pig stable, chicken coop, and then over the side, I'm assuming this is a typo and is meant to be a calf stable. So I'm guessing the idea with this one is this farmer's be where you'd raise the younger cattle and then move them up here into the cow barn. So the idea would be these would kind of work together. I'm guessing that's the intention. I can't see anything else with milk or anything like that for collection points just yet, but we'll go and have a look around and see what we can find. We've got a trigger there for the new barn, a mineral feed storage there as well, and then the old barn down here. So go for a wander around, come and look at the workshop, go through these areas and see what everything is. So first things first, so we've got a fill point there for some animal water, so you can get that on site. Head on down the stairs here. And on the left here was the pig stables. I'm pretty sure they're down underneath. Let's just have a look in here, open things up and take a walk through. So we've got some triggers in here, so some animal product stacking and a management point. Let's just take a look at what we've got in here. Storage is empty. So this is the auto storage up the top and bottom. So input and output. I'm assuming if it's all the way up there, is if we hoisted our bales up into the top of there with a telehandler or something, they would then auto stack, and then if you ask for them to be ejected, they would come out down here in the bottom, which is interesting. And I'm not sure what the animal product stacking is for. Might have to have a little bit of a play around with that and try and get to the bottom of it. But again, another beautifully detailed shed. The trusses, the timber and everything in these. Awesome. Door there, that will take us back out to where the pickup was, and this door will take us obviously out the other side. Crank that open. We'll go have a look at that in a second. That's towards the calf barn. We'll head out back this way. I'll take a look at the workshop. Lots of storage space. This is our silo. We'll figure out exactly where we filled that up. There we go. So we've got our grain loading areas. There's our dump point down the bottom and overfill point there. So again, mindful of what trailers you've got. You don't have a huge amount of height for tipping, particularly where the roof gets a little bit lower. Maybe a side tip trailer could be a good option into those. Not sure. And then back over here, this is the workshop. The door opened up and have a look in here. A little bit of a bunker. Let's just bring up our menu. No, it doesn't show anything for forage for chaff or compaction or anything like that. So possibly something for grain storage. A couple of big areas in there anyhow. Particularly when you see the reinforcing back on that side. But here we go. There's our workshop in the corner with the management point. So still plenty of space in and around this to store some equipment as well. We'll carry on and go back around the bottom here because we're going to take a look at the sheep pasture, which is around here. I feel like I want to sprint just to go a little bit faster. How would that be for a view? Let's just have a look. He's sitting down there. Not a bad spot. Not a bad spot to look out on at all. So in here on the left is the sheep pasture. Pretty tiny. I'll just jump across the fence and go and have a look. Not a huge amount of space in here. Not sure how many it would take, but animal loading and unloading area. If we pop into there, there we go. We only have space for 20 sheep in here, so it is only a very small pasture. Let's just buy a couple to have a look and see them in here. And there you go. Heading on up around the shed, down there on the bottom of the fence. Take a look in here. And there we go. sheep in there as well. Animal feed, and I know what the animal point up the top will be for now. That will be where the wool will spawn for your sheep. So there we go, we've answered our question. Water trough in there, so I've got another water tank. Not sure if we can use that one at all. And manure, so I'm assuming the manure will be from the pigs rather than anything else. I'm going to take a look now at exactly where the pigs are. Come on over this way. Slurry storage point, so we can grab our slurry out of there. And there we go, another animal water drain, so we can hook up and get our animals some water into those. We'll come on over this way and take a very quick look at what we've got here. More animal product stacking and animal management point. This is our chicken coop. You can see the little feeders in there. Space for 40 chickens in and around this area. So again, not huge farms, but not a bad amount of space. Then we've got our mineral feed storage and unloading animal feed. So those there, mineral feed up in the top. Storage silo, unloading, and a management point here. Just take a look at the management point. So there you go, you can actually buy mineral feed by the litre, depending on how much you want to get. Now, one thing I haven't located is the pigs yet. Let's go and carry on having a look. This is the calf barn over here. I thought the pigs were down the bottom. Perhaps they're going under the building, but let's just have a look. Take a look here at this management point. No, I think this one might be wrong. This is probably a feed trigger, is it? Area to provide straw over there. This here is our management point. Not sure exactly what that one is doing. Let's carry on out the end here. Another water drain for our animals. Another management point here as well. Storage is empty, so we've obviously got a store up the top there. So more space for storing bales and things like that. And then here is our animal loading and unloading for our cows. Space for 80 actually, so not a bad size barn at all. And there is our straw point that we could see from the other side. So maybe a couple of mislabeled points here. I would have thought this might have been animal food, the way it was labelled. Not sure exactly what this management point here, but maybe just telling us that there is a interaction here, perhaps possibly for the mineral feed. Not sure exactly. A couple of triggers down the bottom here as well. Let's go down and take a look at these. We've got a slurry on the cow barn and manure storage, and this will be the management point for manure. Possibly to turn it on, to have to pump it out or something like that. Now I've been wandering around looking for where the pigs are. We're right opposite where the chickens were. I missed this door before. I'll just open this door up and we've got our pigsties in under here. So it's basically either side, area to provide straw on that side. Your feed trigger somewhere else, possibly one of the ones outside. Pop in there, we can have up to 50 pigs stored in here. And it may be, as you explore, that some of these areas here, mineral feed, possibly, will be the feed trigger for the pigs rather than the chickens. A little bit of experiment, trial and error, just to figure out exactly what is where and where everything's meant to go for those. So there we go, that is the Mondenhof Premium Cattle Ranch. Carry on up the road, I'm going to have a look at the next of the cow bounds. So we've just come out the road there behind us. That will take us back to where we just were at the Mondenhof farm. We're going to head up the hill there. But one of the things I mentioned earlier was the attention to detail on textures and that around the roading. Now you can see here, we've actually got a couple of different asphalt textures, and you've even got the detail there on the junction between where the sort of tar is put to seal between the two different textures. It just looks amazing to see that sort of variance in the finishes in the road. You know, roads aren't all the same. You know, there's repairs done over time, there's maintenance, there's potholes, all sorts of things that are patched up and made good and repaired, and not all the road is resealed, just like this bit here on the corner. So it's awesome to see that sort of attention to detail. Just little things like that might go unnoticed to a lot of people, but it's just nice to see that detail and that time has been spent. Now this is possibly one of my favourite buildings I've ever seen in Farming Simulator. I'm going to have a look in here on the left, but would you look at that cow barn? That is a work of art just on its own, and well, I was blown away when I first looked at that. So we're going to take a look at this part of the map and what we've got down here. So we've made it up here into the top of the map. This is Farm C, the Lindenhof Dairy Farm. We were down here at Farm B, Mundenhof Premium Cattle Ranch. So we drove along this road. This was the intersection we were just at, and looking at the textures, we've come on up this way. So not a huge amount to look at here. We've got our cow barn on the side here, across the top there, silo, 1,000,000 litre silo. Workshop on the other side, Lindenhof, I think that'd be the farm trigger, possibly a sleep trigger. And then over the back here, we've got a BGA Lindenhof. So we're going to take a look at all of those. So first things first, let's take a look at this dairy barn. This is, like I said, this is an absolute work of art. Quite clearly there, a milk loading point. So when your cows have produced some milk, you can get in here. And like I said, we didn't have that on the last one. So I don't think that was set up to be a cow barn or anything like that for cows. It was purely for raising calves. Now, having a look here, 250 head. So let's just pick up a couple of Holsteins, do that, and go and have a look at them in here. And there we go. Come in, you can see one, maybe a couple. So I'm assuming there must be some space outside for them. But we've got the milking machine, got our management point, which will be our feed trigger, got an area for bedding or straw there through the middle. But would you just look at the detail in this building? This is absolutely incredible. All of the structural brackets, the way this has been designed, beams, everything about it, it's just blows me away for the fact that this is a cow barn. Now, I'm going to go out on the limb and assume that this is actually based on a real cow barn somewhere. I'm not sure if it is. It is pure speculation on my part, but it's a lot of effort and a lot of detail to go to if it is a made-up cow barn. It's pretty cool. Now, I can't open those ends, but we'll just take a quick look out down there. Looks like we've got our manure storage and management point. So manure would be underneath the floor, and I'm assuming it gets either washed out or conveyed out through there. Now, you might have noticed as we walked over here, we'll go take a look, but this looks like it used the Lely robotic farming feeding system, which is not something I have used yet, so it could be a good opportunity to use that. If we just pop around here, you can see we've got our different silos in here. Grass, I think that one is, straw and silage. Would have been hay, straw and silage. And there's the robot. So you can go and dump all your products in there. You can see there actually in the bottom right corner all the different components that make up this cow barn. So there is a lot to take in. If we just come around the end here, we've got mineral feed storage, we've got water, and then cows actually, a few that we've bought. You can see them going all the way down here. They go all the way across, and that is quite a big, large open pasture. Now, one thing I didn't mention, but the map does support animal grazing. So if you're using the Maize Plus animal grazing mod from the farming agency, then you would actually get grass in here. And I would say that is the reason for having that sort of grass texture down the bottom there, rather than having just this sort of meadow grass the whole way around. Pretty impressive looking cow barn. I'm pretty blown away with that. Just, again, detail and attention to detail in these sheds is just amazing. Got our silo in here, that was 1,000,000 litres, so we've got our fill and dump triggers right on top of each other. Again, not much height, you wouldn't want to be backing the trailer up and trying to dump it through in the door. You're going to get into all sorts of problems. Big open area here for storing equipment, and then another area over this side. And this is the triggers, so we've got the management point here. Let's take a look at that one. Again, we can change what we're wearing, and a sleep area there for the house, which is attached to the end of the shed. We're going to have a look in here. We did have a workshop somewhere. I'm assuming there it is. You can see it already sneaking through. It's got the workshop, and then another big area for storing a whole lot of equipment. Haven't seen any storage areas for lofts for automatic storage, but we do have a bit of a loft space up there, so you might be able to manually use some of that. That door opened up and head on out this way. So again, set up as a dairy farm, and it's a pretty impressive looking dairy farm. And paired with it, we've got a BGA. This is right next door. It can be purchased separately. So we've got liquid manure input points. We've got a liquid digestate loading, so you take your digestate out there. And we have a look up this side. We've got our management area and input and sell. So management. You can see what we can do here at the BGA. We've got manure, wood chip, silage, sugar beet, grape production, straw, grass, and hay can all go in there. And we've got outputs of digestate, propane, and electricity. So depending on what you put in, depends on what you get out. So nice to see those both paired next to each other and pretty easy to use and interact with. Lots of space. I have found on some of them before that they are a little bit tight and a little bit narrow and a little bit hard to use, but this one looks to have quite a bit of space around it. Now, looks like we've got a silage bunker here right next to us as well. Bring that up. Yes, indeed. You can see the fill level and the compacting up in the top corner. So another handy one right next to the dairy farm and easy to get access to. Nice and open. Good manoeuvrability. Lots of space. Right. Well, there we go. That is that farm. Let's carry on driving down and around and going to have a look at some of the other features on the map. So we're going to go for a drive down out of here. We'll follow the main road down and around. Going to heading over to the winery. We're going to take a look at the chicken farm as well. Take a look at the shop area, some of the sell points, and pop in here and have a look at these sell points as well, bakery and things like that, before we do end up over at the winery. Because again, as you've seen with all the buildings, being custom building, this one's a pretty impressive looking one as well. There's a few points on our way back. We've got the Gasthaus Alter Hirsch, the Agriland. This is a missing store item, but this is I've had a look at this. There's a water trigger just here, so you can get water. Got a grain mill and a few other things. So we're just going to go for a drive. I might just very briefly put on a little bit of music and time lapse the cruise down here so you can get a little bit of a look at the countryside. There's a couple of points we might just pause and take a quick little look at. But enjoy the ride, and we'll see you down the road. Well, that was a pretty close accident there. Now, we're just approaching up here. We've got a gas station in there on the left. We're just going to hang a left down this one and go and take a look here at the shop. Had a little bit of traffic behind us, but isn't it nice getting off the narrower country lanes and sort of having that main road which goes through the middle of the map. But here we are. This is the main shop. I'm going to go into the back and have a quick little look. But I really enjoy the way this shop's been done with all the models, the different tractors and equipment that is floating around, all very German in its selections, class and Fendt and Deutz, so very, very appropriate for the region, but very nicely detailed. Another fantastic looking building. Another workshop here in the back, got the management point in there, but you can see your equipment out here. Doors in the middle there don't lead us anywhere. A couple of doors here, again they're just decorative, you can't actually open anything up. Walk in through here past the two tractors. Our Harry's sitting down there. We'll go and take a look inside. Head on over here, obviously very clear what that trigger is. That is our shop. Press the button and come in here and have a look at what you want to buy. Now, you exit out of it, it does kick you back outside for whatever reason that is. It doesn't really matter. But again, nice little showroom in here. A couple of different models. Again, those are a couple of the required mods. You can see the modding banners there. Nice to see the modders acknowledged there. A couple of Fendts here with the Katana forage harvester and the ideal combine there as well, so kind of gives you a bit of an idea of the equipment that's used around the areas. Decent sized Lemken cultivator as well, but again, beautifully detailed building. I'm really enjoying these. We'll head on out back and have another look. We'll just take a quick look at the map so you can kind of get an idea on where we are now and what else there is to go and have a look at. There's the road we drove down from the top farm all the way through the middle here. Now, one thing I didn't comment about, the little side lane there I really like. Obviously, keep farm equipment off the main road. There's a little lane there which allows tractors and equipment to go in and access these 5 fields along there, which is pretty cool. A few other features we drove past. There was the grain mill back here, which we took a little bit of a look at. I sort of highlighted this spot up here on top of the hill as well. Gas station there, and as we look back across you could see the main village back up there with the starter farm at it. Now we will just go for a quick wander over here. We've got a dairy, bale, sale and the livestock market. Before I want to go up and have a look, and at this point we'll go down here and have a look at the chickens as well, and then we'll go and take a look at the winery. So Not sure what the best way to do this is. It's not actually that easy to drive around to there. So we might drive up to this point, might go over to the winery, and then we might just fly ourselves over and take a look here at the chickens. But first things first, let's go and just jump over the fence here. Take a quick little look at these couple of spots. Again, not so much for what they are, but again, just for the models, because I think they need to be seen. Management point over there on the left, and then we've got our input and sell area. Now this was the dairy, so I would expect you can see down there we can butter, cheese and pasteurised milk. And there you go, take a look there. Milk in for butter out, milk in for cheese out, or milk in for pasteurised milk out. So they're all at sort of slightly different ratios depending on ins and outs for those. We carry on over this side as well, and again, another great looking building. That all looks so great. Just going to jump across the train tracks. Shouldn't really do that, but we've got the bale sale area in here. And then our livestock point over here as well for buying and selling animals if you want to deliver them yourself. Loading race that comes out, and just again, another very cool building. Not too much to that one, but just really, really nice to see that sort of detail put into things. Right, let's jump back into the truck and carry on our little drive around. So back across the river through the middle, and we're just going to turn in. Whoops, we've taken the wrong lane there. Fortunately, there wasn't anything coming the other way, but we're just going to head on in here. Some control arms. Just take a look at the different productions around here. We've kind of got a little bit of a railway siding, sawmill and things like that in here, so let's just go and find somewhere we can park. Let's take a quick little look at what there is. There's four sort of areas in here. We've got the bio bakery, wood chip sales, agro DE, and those are both sell points, and then the sawmill. So a couple of productions and a couple of sell points. So we're going to take a look at those. I'm kind of interested in what the bio bakery is, because I haven't had a look at that and haven't seen exactly what that is. You can see we've got our sell and input area in there, management point. Just take a look here at that. So the bio bakery requires flour and firewood to make bread. So you're actually using firewood to make the product. Cake obviously has everything else in there, and then firewood. Now I'm going to have to figure out exactly what we make firewood with, but I'm assuming, here we go, under the sawmill, we can put a tree in and get firewood out as an output of that. So 1 to 1 or 10 to 10 for that. And then we've got parts as well that sawmill can make. We've got planks, timber in or wood in, and you get planks and firewood out, and wood and metal parts, which again I'll have to figure out how we make some metal parts, but they get some barrels and firewood as an output. I can't see anything else on the production that might create meta parts, so I wonder that might be something we have to buy. So that is the bio bakery. You see the train just racing through there behind us. Got the sawmill over there. We had a look at the sell points for that. We get a sell area here. This was the wood chip sell point. And then just taking a look here, it's got a little bit of a railway siding. So another sell area which we can load up onto from down low. You can see there. Kind of looking like we're selling at the railway yard, but not actually using the train itself. And then there's a crossing over there to get into the agro DE, which again, got the sell point in underneath here. So again, just a sell trigger. Big silo really. But again, mindful of what trailers you use. You're not going to be able to tip very high with that. But yeah, very cool. Nice little spot. Good to see. And here is the live train track with the train racing past us just before. So just exploring a little bit and jumping around a little bit here. Just taking a look in at the shop. And we're going to have a look under pallets. And if we go right to the end here, you actually see there's 4 items brought in here as mods with the map. So we've got empty wine barrels we can buy. We've got white wine bottles we can buy. Meta parts, so that answers that question. You can actually buy firewood too. So if you didn't want to cut down trees to make the firewood for the bakery, you could go and buy a pallet of it as well. So you're not actually going to have to worry about those. And you can get them in there and use them. So not necessary to actually buy things all the time. So we're going to make our way out of here now and go and take a look at the winery and at the chicken farm. Well, I figured we'd seen everything else properly, so I have made the effort and driven up here to the chicken farm before we go and check out the winery as the last little point. Like I said, not too much to see up here. Got a decent sized shed on the side. See a workshop point in the back of that. I'm not going to get too carried away looking at that. And then over the other side here, a little bit of a bigger chicken coop. Now we obviously had the chickens at the second farm we went and had a look at, but this one definitely looks like it'd have capacity for a whole lot more. Up to 300 chickens, so certainly a lot bigger than the other one. I've got animal feed. So you are able to load with an auger or something into the top of the bin there. and that will feed the animals. And then we've got our egg spawn point there as well. So not bad. Again, just the coops look fantastic, don't they? Great looking model. So that is the chicken farm over this side. On the map, we are down here near the bottom. So we'll take the track back out here. We've just driven in this way. Head back up here and go and have a look at the winery. So up here on the left is the winery, and this is a fantastic looking spot. Just there on the right, that is the back of the animal dealer, back of the shop. You can see the train going through the middle. Now, just before we do turn up into here, I want to make you aware of one thing, and that is there is collisions on these road markers. So just be careful when you're driving along, not to get too far off the side of the road. Don't ask me how I found that out, except for I found it out the hard way. But let's turn up in here. Go and take a look at this winery, because again, I think this is pretty spectacular. Acres and acres of vineyard of vines, but like I said, some good manoeuvring space on the ends of these, which I think bodes very well for being able to use some courseplay for running the grape harvesters. Head on up over here, and the building, you wouldn't think there's much of a building in there, would you? Just looking across at that, doesn't it look fantastic? Sunken and sleek and elegant, just what you'd expect from a winery. But as we come around the corner, you can see it's exposed in all its glory, and it does have this rather big sunken winery area, for want of a better description. So let's just park up in here. We'll go and take a little bit of a quick look around this. So we've got our output area over on the side there. Got our sell point or our input area in here, depending on whether you're just selling your product or inputting it. And over the other side here we have our management point right there, and a second input area. So again, barrels, wine, grapes. I imagine this might be where you put barrels or your bottles, and the grapes would obviously go into the hopper over there on the other side. But what a great looking building, isn't it? And if you're really paying attention, we might have to go and fly just to be able to see this properly. We've got a map of Germany here on the ground. I think now I am at the bottom, so this is the southern end of Germany, Bavaria. We've got, if I'm not mistaken, the Rhine. It's the Rhine Valley heading up that way, and then we've got the Elbe River, which goes across the top, up into Denmark and the North Sea. And if you have a look on the side here, you can see all the different wine regions of Germany, and that's all color-coded here on the map. So quite a cool little detail. It took me a little bit of time to figure out exactly what it was, whether it was an actual, just a wine region or the whole of Germany. But there you go, that is Deutschland and Deutschland's winery producing regions. And what a beautiful wineries we're doing it in. Well, we're just about done, just about at the end, but before we do have a bit of a wrap up, there's one more thing I did just want to have a look at. Obviously, we had red grapes and white grapes. Now, red grapes, part of the game. By default, we've always been able to harvest those since the start of FS22. White grapes, not quite so much. But Edomod has included that, and this is something that's happened on the other maps as well. Included a whole lot of equipment. So let's go and take a look at what equipment has been included in the map to be able to harvest some of those things. So the easiest way to find those, if we come down to the DLC, Mods and DLC tab there, you can see the three mods, the Deutz D06 series, the Mercedes-Benz MB Track, and the Sievers Dorfer trailer package. Those are the three required mods, all available from ModHub. But if we double click here on Deutschland, you can see what we've got. So we've actually got a broad harvester. You can see in the bottom right corner there, that will do the white grapes. And then we've got some custom trailers, which will do both the red and the white grapes. So they're just the base game mods, but they've just been changed to be able to do white grapes again. Same with the pruner there. And then we've got the Profi liner. There's a whole lot of different things. So we've got a customized feed mixer, water trailer, a couple more water trailers, and then we get into those items like the wine barrels, the bottles, the meta parts, and the firewood. So there's a few things that are there that you will need to have. They come with part of the map, so you don't have to do anything special, but they are there. Easiest way, like I said, to find those is go to your mods and DLCs and find them that way. Otherwise, you'd have to go through the menu, find your grape technology, and you're going to find you've got your standard one there for your red grapes, or that one there, which will do your whites, and that'll be the same for the others. So just bear that in mind. If you are going to be doing grapes, you will need one of each. There's not a harvester which will do both. So as we leave the vineyard behind, you can see that map of Germany, and you can see what a beautiful map this Deutschland map from Edomod is. Looking across that, just some spectacular scenery. These vineyards, I think, from a user-friendly point of view, possibly some of the best I've seen built into a map for Farming Simulator 22. The farms, the buildings, everything about it, there's just been such a fantastic attention to detail, right down to the textures used on the roads and the road markers and things like that. Just everything has been thought about and given some consideration, which just makes this quite a special little map. Looking forward to seeing people play on it. Certainly a unique style of map. Small fields, smaller equipment. You won't be running anything big on this, just because it would be hard to get it around and in and out of the fields. But yeah, I can see a lot of fun being had on this one. Edomod has done a fantastic job. Fingers crossed we'll see some expansions in the future, maybe this game, maybe for the next version, and I do hold out hope that this could potentially come to all platforms through the mod hub. It would be great to see one of his mods make it through there, so fingers crossed this could be the one. But there you go. If you want to get it, description is in the... If you'd like to download the mod, the link to that is in the description. Go and show Edomod some support and thank him for this wonderful map. And thank you for tuning in and watching this. I hope you found this map tour helpful and useful. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.